Some poor person is just having a normal day. Some Friday, they're excited about the weekend, and then they see this. Can you imagine, Barry, me playing terrible drums, you dancing around poorly? I mean, it's just a whole thing. What a
It's,
vibe.
man,
What a
jeez.
vibe this show is, as the kids say. I'm Louie Rabaut, he's Barry Spears, the Horse Racing Happy Hour, and it's SoCal Saturdays. So excited that you decided to spend part of your weekend with us. Yes, we're an hour early, I know. But your boy is busy. Breeders' Cup next week will be out there, Barry and me. You can hear us live on ESPN Louisville, ESPN Radio Louisville, Thursday and Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time, 10 to noon here in the Eastern time zone. As our guy Chase would like to say, 9 to 11, of course, in God's time. But we'll be out there paddock side both mornings. Tons of guests, tons of fun leading up to the races on Friday and Saturday out there at Del Mar. Hell, Barry will probably have some ridiculous picks for Thursday as well. So make sure you are tuned in for that. I'll be on the Blood Horse feed as well throughout the weekend. Blood Horse at the Breeders' Cup. So if you're interested in hanging out with us on that as well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we'll be putting those up at YouTube as well. Very good morning. Afternoon. Hi. Afternoon.
Yeah.
Hey.
Afternoon. Hey.
It's morning in California. You know what? Bleep it. This is SoCal
That's
Saturdays,
true.
So
That
we'll
is
just
just true.
leave it like that. All right. Amwager.com. We encourage you to go check out our friends over there. Had a meeting with some of the folks at Amwager this week and just thrilled with the response to this show. So we are so grateful to you if you've used this show to find Amwager and Amwager.com. 100% deposit match right now, up to $150 with them. Bet all the Breeders' Cup races, of course, all the action as well at Santa Anita. Go ahead and get in with them over there. Busy 10 race card here. Barry and I a little worried about the chalk picking that may have happened or not happened prior to this show.
Yikes.
But the early pick 5, I hate, Barry, that it came up as light as it did as far as the numbers, because many of the contenders in the races are interesting. I just wish they were deeper fields. And so it's disappointing that way. There's still some very good high-end talent in those races.
Yeah, I think it's just that weird period of time before the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah.
And a lot of the better horses are kind of saving themselves for next week, and
or to go to Del Mar for something,
right,
or whatever. Right, exactly.
Yep. So it's a little special kind of situation, but I think they had a nice card put together. The late part of the card is definitely better.
Well, and you and I were chatting about this off air yesterday, frankly, was the races that filled the most were the claimers, right? And frankly, maybe moving forward, it's something that we could take a couple cues on in Southern California and include more of these races. I'll take a dime claimer pick 5 with 14 horses in every race.
Yeah.
Throw it at me. Yeah. Let's figure it out. Let's have fun together.
It's funny you say that, because that's kind of what happens during the championship meet down at Gulfstream. The early part of the card is typically the lower level claimers, and they run on synthetic and turf.
Sure.
Which they don't get the opportunity to, because a lot of places don't run those kind of races, the really lower level types, like open $10,000 claimers on the turf. Right. And you get those. That's usually like the first race on the card at Gulfstream. So hopefully they can, talk to each other and get those kind of situations aligned.
Well, and especially with the low takeout on the early pick 5, right? I mean, it makes sense that you would want to have a great early pick 5. I understand backloading cards, and by the time people roll around to the cards, blah blah blah. But when you're on the West Coast, man, you're already getting those East Coast bettors early in the day and all that kind of stuff. I think you could go ahead and do that again. Amwager.com for our friends over there. Appreciate them hanging out with us. At some point, we will go inside the mind of Spears, and we will have multiple Barry's boring plays of the day today. Race 1, we'll get it kicked off here on SoCal Saturdays. Louie Rabaut, Barry Spears hanging out with you here at the Horse Racing Happy Hour. Starter optional claiming here, so starter allowance in this spot. You can put your horse in for a $50,000 tag or not. $34,000 on the line here, and this is one of those races, Barry. This is a fun one to handicap, but unfortunately only 6 horses in here. You and I landed a very different spot. You landed on Alaramo, the 2 horse here.
Yeah, Alaramo, a horse I picked way back in September. Ran really good in that maiden $50,000 claimer, one going away, and I finds a similar spot. I think this horse could do it again. Honestly, there's only really one speed horse in Willity who got a really, really exceptionally easy trip in that maiden breaker back in August. And I don't think that's going to hold up. I think this horse is a little bit better, Alaramo, and we'll get a trip, kind of sitting behind that one and ready to pounce. I think that Alarmo, if we can get 3-1, I'll be very, very happy to start off the day with an
Alaramo
$8 winner.
comes out of yeah, no doubt about it. Out of the maiden 50 there at Del Mar, going the mile turf course there, of course. And look, that's an angle that I love, and I don't have that horse in my handicapping. Probably a bad job by me. I did land on the chalk here in time to shine on the outside. Antonio Fraser who gets the mount from Mark Glatt. Was second in this level last time. Was second at this level, essentially two back. Did break your maiden in a maiden optional down back here at Santa Anita, and that was on the dirt actually. So this is a third try consecutively on the turf. Ironically, this horse now will have 6 starts on the turf with only 1 on the dirt, and the dirt one was a winning one. And so it's interesting what happens with the condition book and different things. So Barry, go ahead. You have that one second, but the one horse you and I both have in our handicapping as well. What should we like about Willa T? By the way, my niece's name, Willa. I love
Oh,
when this horse pops up. Go ahead.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this horse might be the speed. Although that race I did mention was very, very slow.
Mm.
But it doesn't look like anybody has the desire to get out of the gate. And I think
Yeah.
this one
Well,
lands in front and probably will take them a long way just on that alone. So I think this horse is good enough to hang around. Might be a little bit better than what that slow paced maiden breaker was, but we'll see.
is there a horse in here you think just pace wise can get out front and just keep it?
That
Is
horse.
it her?
Hmm.
It's got to be her, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sort of a similar angle. Tim Yaktine, not great off these breaks. So hopefully she's ready to go. The works sort of indicate that she is. It's not exactly a fast working group unless you want to look, I guess, to With Love the 5 here. Do you like Hector Barrios aboard this one?
No. I mean that horse hasn't been out since January 2024, January 1st on the
Yeah.
horse's 4th birthday last year, and ran okay. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this horse jumped up and won, but it's hard for me at least to take a horse coming back, going a mile
Right.
from that long of a layoff. I would tend to think they may need one, but this isn't the greatest field in the world. And if that one kind of drifts up in price, I would look a little harder at it.
Barry Spears, Louie Rabaut with you. SoCal Saturdays here on the Horse Racing Happy Hour Network. We go to race 2. It is the Tokyo City. It's a black type. 4 runners in this one. They are going a mile on the dirt. $85,000 on the line. We see Pony Express Gaming Mining District and Privman in this one. And Barry, this is one of those races I was talking about where I like 3 of the horses in here. I just wish there were 3 more like them.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a nice little field, and I mean little. There's only 4 horses, but the
You and I
3,
landed the same way, by the way.
yeah, that's amazing. But
Unusual. Yeah.
when we do, we usually score. But I was kind of taken back that gaming wasn't the favorite here. Um,
Okay, so I agree with you on that, by the way. What do you think it is? Is it simply the morning line maker looking at speed figures and saying the handicapper is going to look at a 101, for example, on the buyer scale with the one horse here in Pony Express, or look at Privman, who's been well into the 90s, and we've got that shared belief last out from gaming in the 70s. Is it essentially that, do you think? I
It
simply
has
don't
to
know.
be. It
It got to
has
be,
to
yeah.
be because if you look at the body of work in gaming and Privman, just
Yeah,
better.
and what company they've been in. Yeah,
Right.
I
I,
get
I
it.
mean, especially gaming. I mean, you got Citizen Bull journalism, Speed King. So this horse was basically running with the best horses of this generation that are out west and running well competitively. I really don't see how gaming loses this race.
You and I both 2, 4, and 1 in this race. Would you be surprised if Privman won?
No. Priven's a decent horse, just
I
probably
agree.
needs a little more time and better competition. But that horse is definitely on the improve. It's just a shame that they're running into their own horse here.
And what do you make of Pony Express? This kind of layoff for John Sadler is usually not a problem. The horse worked well in September all the way through now. Here's my thing about Pony Express that I'm trying to figure out, Barry, is why were they working this horse on the Tapeta? Now, if I saw it once, I would say, oh, it rained and they just wanted to run. They wanted to stretch their legs, whatever. That's fine. That's not it. There's been multiple runs on the Tapeta here for this horse who's getting on the dirt here and has never tried the turf. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, in theory, working on the synthetic is a little bit kinder.
Sure.
And it's akin to a turf work because the surface is a little bit kinder and
At least
bouncier.
closer, yeah, right.
Right, and maybe this horse, I would think because of the layoff lines that I see, this horse might have some foot issues that
Okay,
may prevent this horse from being out there all the time. So
got it.
working on the synthetic might be a good idea. I mean, all this obviously is speculation, but it could be a reason like that, an injury, something like that, or some nagging thing that keeps the horse from running his best, and they don't want to waste it in the morning, and they want to get in the afternoon.
What do they need to do to get more horses in this race?
Um, Probably run this race a week or two earlier.
I don't get it. I don't get it. 85 is it's a nice purse, man. It's a nice
Mm-hmm.
purse. That's tough. All right, race 3, maiden special. We're going 6.5 furlongs here. This is a 2-year-old race on the boys' side of things, and it is open company. We've got a horse in here that is a second timer with an 80 speed figure, Barry. We've got some first timers that are very interesting as well. Where did you land with experience or with a first timer?
I went with a first timer. I'm under the notion that a horse like Blacksmith, who is in the Baffert barn but training at Los Al, can't
Right.
be one of his better horses, no matter how you slice it. That being said, it's really peculiar that this horse is just starting this late in the year.
Mm.
How much they paid for the horse, it's just not a good sign. At least to me, it isn't. I'm gonna try Easy Company. I think this horse has run equally as good workouts as the 5, and actually, the one that really sticks out to me is that October 12th workout Easy Company had. It was 112 and ones for
Yeah.
6 furlongs.
Yeah.
And Blacksmith did that 8 days later and gets a bullet, and it looks a lot better on the page.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I think they're probably comparable, at least speed wise, maybe. We'll see. But that's all we got to go on. 15-1 on a horse that's working equally as a horse that's 6-5. I got to go with the longer shot.
And you get 14% first time winners for Richard Mandela with
Yeah,
that. And frankly,
not
Barry, you
bad.
know this too. We watched him all year.
Mm-hmm.
Mandela isn't pushing his horses for the fastest workouts. He just wants them out there building. Frankly, this horse is before a debut, multiple 6 furlong works. We don't see that outside of the Baffert barn terribly often, but we do see it with Mandela. So I'm with you. If you wanted, especially in a sequence, Barry, where there isn't a lot of value potentially, right, with a 4-horse field in Tokyo City, etc., this might be a spot where you take a shot with a horse like that. Unusual that you and me in a 5-horse field come up so differently. I will put Blacksmith on top here. The most recent work at Santa Anita seems to indicate that this one is ready. Baffert moving this one over for the last 2 works most recently. As you mentioned, though, this is a son of Liam's map, $40,000 to breed, over $500,000 paid by the Lothman folks. And so should be interesting to see there. Maybe one we should put on the Kentucky Downs watch list for next summer, next spring. There you go. But I went 5, 3, and 1 in here. And so I'll have Rio Grande second. This is a 3rd-time starter for Bob Baffert. And then I do think Acknowledge Me Please is interesting, except that it's a lot of time off since June, man. And I do wonder why a horse who showed up so well would need this amount of time off. The works have been sort of whatever. And that bothers me a little bit. So I think you got a chance to kind of beat a 9-5 here, get that one out of the way. I'll go 5, 3, 1. Barry, you went 4, 5, and 2. Tell us about a postmodern in this spot.
Yeah, Mark Glatt does pretty well with first-time starters, and like I said, I'm not really enthused with the 2 Bob Baffert horses in here.
Okay.
Mark Glatt does well enough with first-time starters that I can give him a shot here. The October 20th last work, 1 minute and 3 handling from the gate, was a decent work in comparison to the rest of these, and the post position actually is okay too because of the fact that the 1 is in the race. I'm not really sure why the 1 is 9-5 here, but we'll take that. I hope they bet that way because that'll put postmodern in a different kind of scenario and possibly even a better win kind of proposition than if this horse gets bet down to, let's say, 2-1.
Should be an interesting maiden special there. We move on to race 4. Another maiden special. We're on the filly side of things here, but this is for fillies and mares 3, 4, and 5 years old, going 6 furlongs on the dirt at 60 grand up for grabs. Here, 6 horses in this one, Barry. Of course, even number races means it's time for Louie to go first, and I landed
Uh-oh.
6-4-3 in this one. You settle down over there. Of course, Juan Hernandez riding for Bob Baffert in a maiden race at Santa Anita. The two of them, I'm worried about their partnership dissolving here, Barry, because they're only winning at 40% together right now at Santa Anita. And I got to imagine when you're only winning at 40% in horse racing, you're not sleeping very well. It's just got to be sleepless
No
nights,
checks,
restlessness.
not cashing any checks.
You're not making
at
any
all.
money. You're
Zero.
not making any money. So your wife's like, yo, where's the money? And you got to deal with that. So at 40%, I'm worried about it. But this is a chance to get back on track. You understand me? Get back ready ahead of the Breeders' Cup, maybe a little nudge for that Baffert barn. You feel so bad for him here with this $300,000 purchase. A daughter of Justify, a 3-year-old. First run was in August at Del Mar. I thought she looked okay. She kind of stayed, and I didn't like that about her first run. So you've seen her working in tandem more recently at Los Al and trying to get that done. Another one that's been working at Los Al, the Baffert barn.
I know, but you see the debut, what it was.
Yes.
I could, after I slandered Blacksmith last race, I'm actually all for
feeling a little better.
Nico in this race because of the fact that this horse had a run. I think second time out is going to be perfect for this horse. There's enough speed inside. He's going to stick to them like glue and stalk that pace and win this race fairly easily, I think.
You and I are both 6-4-3 in here. The 4 horses into the Hall who almost won last out just ran out of gas in a similar race at Del Mar at a similar time of year, same day actually, at Del Mar as well. What do you make of into the Hall here?
Yeah, I think the fitness going that way is going to do this horse a lot of good, especially getting to the lead. I think this horse is quicker than Magnificat, who's inside of them.
Yeah.
But they're both going to be out there kind of winging it and probably ding-donging out front. And that'll just leave everything wide open for Nico. That's why I think that horse gets a perfect trip. Now, if Nico gets the perfect trip in this race,
can you stop saying things like ding dong and then wide open right after it? I can't live like this, Barry Spears. I cannot do it. I got dad jokes in my brain. I'm still a very immature individual. You can't do this to me, man.
That's my bad. That's my bad. But I'd fade Nico next time automatically if this horse gets the trip.
Got it. Okay, there you go. 6-4-3 for both of us in that one. We'll move on to race 5, the closer of that early sequence, of course, and it also starts the pick 6, the Twilight Derby Grade 2 feature on the card. We're going a mile and an eighth, and another one of those races, Barry. We get 5 horses, hopefully. I say hopefully because, is Miles really going to run on this thing? I hope so. This is a mile and an eighth on the turf course there at Santa Anita, 200,000 on the line, of course. This is just for 3-year-olds, so we do see the shipper from across the country in test score, who will be the 4-5 favorite here. Obviously, the ownership there and the Amermans trying to get a graded stakes win into this one once again after that Belmont Derby win. Barry, where'd you land in this race?
It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 here. I thought September 64. I really like the way that this horse was ridden last time. I know they kind of petered out, but I appreciate those kind of moves because it's good for the race they're in, and it's even better for the race that they're going into next. And I think that's really the key here is this horse is going to get out in front and be able to control that pace. Now, if this horse is a runoff, they might be in trouble. If Kimura can settle this horse, they should be the goods, because I don't see anybody getting in the front of this horse early and be able to take the trip around the track with no issues here. I don't think the 2 is going to pressure him, and Scipio might want to, but I don't think they'll be able to do that in last. Even though Scipio has run some really good races, I really think September 64 has a real big pace advantage and edge here.
Will get the lead almost certainly, right? I don't want to say by default, but almost certainly, right? And default might be the proper term here. Kazushi Kimura keeps the mount here. Any concern about the stretch out and kind of the fade at the mile last time, or is that more?
No, because if
3-year-olds are getting that experience, yeah.
Right, and I think that experience is what's going to make the difference. Now this time they can go slower,
right,
and have more to finish,
yeah.
right? And I think that's a good move here.
Okay, so here's my dilemma here, because you and I are the same except for the first horse. Okay, so we obviously agree on the 2 and the 3 being contenders in this race. I I'm going on two things as far as using test score on top here, Barry. And it's not the 4-5 number because I don't want it to be 4-5. Is a couple of years ago, I remember saying, probably on this program, Todd Pletcher is placing his horses as well as anyone I can remember. And he was having a year shipping to Churchill, he would just drop horses in. It was Todd Pletcher off the plane. Okay, it really was. Do you know who it is this summer? It's Graham Motion, man. It's Graham Motion, dog. And like he's especially turf, of course, turf racing, but especially turf races, he's dropping horses into spots that make a ton of sense. When this horse dropped into the Belmont Derby, no one was like, "Oh yeah, you know what? That's it. That's what we're doing here. We all need test score." And now the horse ended up going off at a lower number because this horse was in the American Turf, etc. Won the Transylvania at Keeneland. That's a grade 3. Let's be clear. That's way better than any grade 2 that's been run at Santa Anita on the turf this year. And so at least at the 3-year-old level. And so I just think class-wise, etc., they're not shipping by accident to this race. And so give me test score.
Definitely no accident, but at least for my counterpoint on this horse is I'm not convinced that this horse wants to go that far.
Oh, okay.
I know they won the Belmont Derby, but I think that horse kind of laid over that field at that time.
Okay.
They tried going longer the 2 times after that. The horse ran well, but not much of a kick. And I think maybe mile and eighth is probably the ceiling here for distance. And I don't know if this is the best distance. I would rather see this horse run a little bit shorter, basically a mile and 16th or a mile. Not saying that this horse can't win. I mean, class-wise, definitely fits here. Might even tower over this field. So I was trying to take a shot with the pace dynamics and leaving this horse out with the idea that the distance and the trip might not be the best for test score.
I think Graham Motion agrees with you to the point that he's throwing blankers on this horse.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And that's
pay attention earlier, right? Pay attention earlier. Yeah,
a little curious that's happening.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Race 6 is up next. And Barry, this is an interesting moment in the history of this show, which is a very short history here, but it is the first of the ratings handicap races that will be happening at Santa Anita. It is I'm not even going to call it a pilot program because it appears we are way past that point with the folks over at Equibase, of course. That's Chance Moquette and the whole team over there. So first off, the first thing I want to say, Barry, is I know there's a lot of criticism on the internet. You could give away free puppies and popcorn at a track, and there would be criticism, okay? So number one, I'm going to dismiss the online criticism out of hand, frankly. Number two, the people who are begging for, like, how do I get the transparency on this and the exact, like, everything?
It's pretty simple, no?
It is very simple, frankly. And so, like, I just, at some point, read.
That's really all it takes. And trust me, in my personal life, I understand the importance of reading because I come across so many people that do not.
Just don't read. Just don't read. So go ahead, check it out. It is based on multiple factors. Of course, the horse's form and lots of different things. And how the weights are determined and all that sort of stuff. It's fantastic. So go ahead and go check that out. But this is the first of those ratings races. They're running for $35,000. It is for 3 and up, which have earned a rating number of 79 to 70. For each rating, step of 2 allowed 1 pound. So in other words, they are creating a handicap system within a decade, within a 10-point part of the system. Okay. This is a race in the 70s. If you are 79 and there's a 71 in the race, you're going to carry 4 more pounds. Okay. That is essentially how this works. And so that is what we are looking at here. Barry Topalo comes in as the favorite from the rail. I went a very different direction here in race 6, as I should probably put that up. There we go. And I went to the 5 in Last Call Zonlo. Not so different because this one is 2-1 on the line here. But Zonlo will get Antonio Fresu in the mount here. We're sprinting on dirt. I would have not mind keeping Edgar Payeras for this one, but we'll go back to Fresu, who won at the $10,000 level 2 back, was right there at the optional 20 level in State Bred Company last time. Barry, part of this learning curve for us, those of us who sit down every week and look at Southern California, is going to be, do we have to simply look at the past work and the class of these horses while we're figuring out whether the ratings fit or not? Because this is a 122 horse, and there are 125s in here. And now some of this is based on weight or based on age and different things, of course. But That horse I don't think should be carrying 122. Should probably be carrying a little bit more than that. So I'll land on the 5 here. Where'd you land in race 6?
I thought Tepelo stands out
Okay.
insanely here. I think this was going to be 1-2, and in fact, I wish we had prop bets, more prop type bets, because I would bet that Tepelo will not be on the lead and will
Okay.
come and do and be a different running style. That's how much better this horse is than everybody else in this race. I don't think this horse can lose, and if they do lose, either the horse is hurt, sick, or they're cheating, which probably isn't the case. So I just don't think Tapalow can lose.
Okay. All right. So you are 1, 7, and 2. I am 5, 2, and 7. So we agree on the 2 and the 7 here. Barry, I'll talk about the 2 and drop them. 3-1 here. Kyle Frey keeps them out, or gets them out back, I should say, after being in the real good deal stakes at Del Mar just in August. This one came back in an optional claimer on the turf just the last time out. We get back to the dirt here. I think that's where this horse wants to be 4 times in the trifecta in 5 runs lifetime. And so I'll use this horse for that race. Broke its maiden on the first asking at Golden Gate Fields. How about that? Matt Dinnerman called that one back in May of 2024. And then, I say that now. He was gone by then. Matt was doing
Yeah.
Oakland by then. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But the other one that you and I share in our handicapping here is the 7. So we both found the 10-1. Don't fly, stand by.
Yeah, that horse ran some pretty decent races at Turf Paradise
Yes.
in particular. Those stake races were decent.
Yep.
These races are going to be tough because you get horses like Tapalo and the 7 in the same race.
Right.
This one's coming from Turf Paradise, Zia, Canterbury, Prairie Meadows, and this horse has been hanging out SoCal the whole time. It's hard to match up how the better horses at Turf Paradise match up at Santa Anita. However, in this race in particular, I think the 7 fits pretty well. The running style in particular is probably more of the attractor than the actual anything else with this horse, because I think they'll fall into a really nice trip here. With Drop 'em probably going to the lead with a little of tougher than the rest, this horse and Tapalo will probably be lined up right behind him with maybe Last Call Zonlo. So I think that will make a little bit of a difference. And I think the post position itself will lend to the fact that this horse is going to not get bet as much. But
say 1-7 cold exacta. Say it.
That's what I was going to do. 1-7 cold Medina. That's it. That's all I see here.
Do you know where I am, people? Inside the mind of Spears. You understand
Yeah.
that? I knew exactly what was coming.
You knew where
to
go.
Where you can bet.
You had the map.
Do you know where you can bet exactas? At amwager.com. Do you know what else you can get at amwager.com? You can get tons of great features. It is a platform designed by horse players for horse players. They've got true odds. They've got conditional betting. They've got all kinds of great things going on over there. And a 100% deposit match up to $150. Double your deposit today with our friends at Amwager if you are a new customer at amwager.com. Get you all set up for the Breeders' Cup. Double that bankroll, Barry. You understand me? Double that bankroll for Breeders' Cup.
That's the goal. And then you double it the next day. The next day.
Obviously.
Right.
That's how it works.
We do this,
easiest game in the world. Easy. There you go. Race 7. Another ratings handicap. 65 grand on the line here, Barry. Boy, I'll tell you what, these ratings handicaps are going to catch on. You keep putting up 65 grand at Santa Anita.
Right.
This is down the hill, which I freaking love. 65 grand on the line here. Again, Fillies and Bears 3 and up. Rating numbers here 80 to 95. So if you are a higher rated horse, you are going to get more money in the pools for this. Very a tough one, as most of these horses either don't have much experience going down the hill or don't have a lot of success going down the hill.
Yeah, this is a really tough race. They all kind of look the same on paper.
Late pick 4, absolute fire this weekend. That's because of these claiming races and because of this ratings handicap. Yes,
absolutely. I ended up going with number 6, Spicy Bug, and really, this horse has not been down the hill, but is coming out of a mile race, a really good one, in fact. And I think that's just going to accentuate this horse's kick. I say it all the time on this show, how horses go down the hill after going a mile, cutting back in distance.
Yep.
It really really, really accentuates their late kick. And I think this is the perfect scenario for Spicy Bug. This is what this horse wants to do. I'm surprised they haven't tried this earlier, but here we are. Hopefully, we get that 3-1.
We're very similar here in how we're going to talk about our top selections here, but I'm going to go 4, 1, and 2 in here. I'll take Miss Lizzie, who has won twice down the hill. Most recently, only time missing the board was in the grades 3 Las Amigas, and it was down the hill, but that was in January. A little bit of time off here for Doug O'Neill. But look at the works, Barry. This is one that's been flying on the Tapeta at Santa Anita. I think is really ready. I will admit this will buck a trend if O'Neill does win this because he wins 4% of his races with 6 months plus off. But this one feels a little different to me, Barry, just because the horse did run this year. It's not like we're talking about didn't run since, last August or something, and does have those works as well. Drops back out of stakes company into what essentially they're telling us, Barry, because of the rating system. These are horses that are black types, essentially, right? Or something right below that, whatever that might be. So I'll take Miss Lizzie here, the 4 horse, who I know is also in your handicapping third. Yes. I have the 1 in the second spot like you do as well. So why don't you go ahead and talk about Lunar Impact in here, who does have success going down the hill previously.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about this horse. Back February 2024, this horse was really running good and won a race down the hill January 6th, and then kind of lost his way. They went long, went back to the 6.5 furlong, ran a great race in the misdirection.
Yep.
And then, they went a mile again. And then last time, I'm sure this horse just didn't like the course at Kentucky Downs, just the way this horse ran. It got eased up. Just not a good day for Lunar Impact. I think they can bounce back. Dan Blacker on their home turf. I think this horse will run a much improved race and be right around it at the finish.
Yeah, and you got to try, by the way. That's a grade 2 at Kentucky Downs, which I'm not kidding, probably means that's a $2 million race.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to go try.
You should.
And so, right. And by the way, the horse had success down the hill, right? Yes. So you would assume at Kentucky Downs where you got to go down the hill.
Then but you're going uphill too.
Right,
uphill. Right. That's the problem.
She ain't like the uphill. She's like, give me the down.
Yeah.
Oh, give me the escalator up, and then I'll take the stairs down. That's what she said. All right. So
leg workout, leg day. That's all that was. That was a leg day. That was a leg day race.
Little glute mention there. All right. Yeah. We'll move on to race 8. And this is a 6250 claimer. No, we're not at Los Al, but I want to say this. Where's the camera? There it is. Good job, Santa Anita. Card more of these, please. Please. We will take all of them. Fill the gates for us. Wait till the next race, people. It's very exciting. Late victory here, $3 minimum, 15% takeout. Cannot suggest playing that enough. 6 furlongs on the dirt. We're running for 15 grand because damn right we are. Tons of options in here. Barry, I laid it on the 5. You and I are very different in late sequence. I like it. I went 5, 2, and 6 in here. Rousing Jewel. Antonio Fresu gets the mount here. Here's why I'm interested. Why is Antonio Fresu riding a 6250 claimer? Because they think there's something here. So they're going to try this one out. She has been, Aguilar, Silvera, Garcia, and Americano before, since Alvarado had the mounts in Northern California. I think Rousing Jewel here drops into the level that she needs to be at. Almost won at the $10,000 level last out at Santa Anita, going 5.5. Gets to go 6 here. Was making up ground at the end of that race as well. So I think she's in a good spot here. Barry, I know you landed in a different spot with the 2 horse who I do have in my handicapping in Arousing Babe.
Yes. Looks loose lead.
Oh, okay.
Looks loose on the lead, and that should go a long way in this race. Not to mention the fact this horse is kind of dropping in class quite a bit. Those races up north in Emerald might be a little bit tougher than this one.
Oh, wow.
And I think this horse, if they are smart, Ricky Gonzalez is just going to go and just put the pedal to the metal and play catch me if you can. I don't really think that the 10 can keep up. I mean, that horse has a lot of quit and running in conditioned claimers, while the 2 is running in open claimers,
right,
albeit up north. I still think that's a little bit better in this spot. The Blaine Wright really knows how to spot good horses, and I think he's done
especially
a good job
here.
Level.
He's really good with claiming level, yeah.
Exactly. Yep. This is what he's dealing with up there at Emerald. So I think this is, to me, I like this horse the best on the card.
I'll say something else too about racing in Southern California now that they've condensed the circuit. You need a guy like Blaine Wright to succeed.
Sure.
You do, because that's who
Yeah.
fills your gates. You really do. You need him like four or five entries a card. That's the guy you need to succeed at Santa Anita. Is a guy like Blaine Wright, frankly, up and down the West Coast, filling the gates with these kinds of races, etc. Maybe jumping up once in a while, winning a 2-year-old stake, whatever it might be. But you need dudes like that to really care. I'm not kidding. To fill the gates.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, because that's what gets lost a lot of times, where people like to see the headliners and they're like the Bob Bafferts and the Michael McCarthy's and the journalisms and the gamings, but it's these horses in this race like Rousing Babe that hold the foundation together. And like you said, we need more guys like that. We need these kind of horses to fill out races and to have their own races. I mean, this one, the next race is 14 horses in the same sort of class. So, this is what we definitely need. And as horse players, it's a challenge, because these races,
it is a challenge.
The horses are inconsistent. They do things in and out of form,
Yep.
and it makes for good payoffs. It's like everything that everybody wants. So let's keep that rolling.
Yeah, we don't have to pretend that we don't love it. 5, 2, and 6 for me here in race 8. Barry is 2, 4, 6. Pretty easy to remember. The late double starts with race 9. It's a $5 minimum late double there at Santa Anita. As Barry mentioned, 14 to the gate for this one. Fingers crossed. $10,000 claimer for non-2 lifers. 3 and up. 6 furlongs on the dirt. We're running for $18,000. Odd race means an odd man goes first. Barry, you're up.
Yeah, I landed on number 9, Kitten in Charge. First off the claim for Chuck Treese, who does really well with this. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't done it a
especially
lot
lately. Yes.
Right. Yeah, he hasn't done it a lot, but I mean, from years past and just knowing, watching Los Al and all that kind of stuff, I know that he does very well off the claim. And I don't think this is an exception. There's enough speed in here. This race should be fair. There's a lot of horses. Hopefully this horse can get a little bit more forwardly placed. I don't want this horse too far back, because it might get into traffic trouble. But first time at this level, second time at the level is always the better race. I'm going with Kitten in Charge in first.
I hope people heard my ding dong joke earlier.
Yeah, that was pretty
because
funny.
I was setting it up for race 9. You know who I got on top here, Barry?
No more.
Ding dong. No more ding dongs on top. You understand me? In for the tag here. Last seen at Santa Anita in a $25,000 claimer. Y'all be better than that. This is a $10,000 horse. Kyle Frey gets the mount back after this one has been trying optional claimers and 25 claimers. Let's call this horse what it is. It is a dime claimer. Back into this. The sire is idiot proof, by the way, which I love that they named a horse No More Ding Dongs when the dad is idiot proof. It's just a good job.
Yeah, but no more Twinkies. No more
Twinkies is the damn. It's just a spectacular.
It's great.
I'm sorry. Victory Rose Thoroughbreds, shout out for preparing idiot proof with No More Twinkies. It's a great job. It is a legitimately great job. It was worth every bit of the $3,000 stud fee. I would do it just for the jokes. I mean, just for the jokes.
Done
good
right.
job. Plus, this horse is going to win in this 14 horse, this Kentucky Oaks size field. Give me No More Ding Dongs on top. I agree with you about the 9. I'll talk about the 11 now. That is self-sufficient. That horse is 2-1 in here. I want to be clear. I wouldn't have a single horse at 2-1 in this field. No chance. Herrera gets them out for Mathis here. Has not been aboard this horse before, but this is Andy Mathis's level as well. 2 for 9 so far, by the way, in wins, and 2 more second place finishes in 9 starts. In the exact of 4 out of 9 starts right now in this meet at Santa Anita. This horse has been working about as well as anyone in this group. And so if you wanted to lean on that, that's fine. And second off the layoff here, a terrific angle for Andy Mathis as well. So I landed, what was that, 4-9-11? 4-9-11. Barry giving away what kind of car he drives. We know you got a Porsche. It's okay. 9-11 and 7. What do you like about Aria? I look at
kind of the best of the rest. I know.
Especially if the Emerald Downs earlier form translates. I'm with you.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm kind of counting on. And sure. I think it does translate well here. I'm not really enthused with the 11 too much. It seems like a bit of a suspicious drop into this company. I don't really think that they need to do that or to drop this far. But they're in this race. So that's why I kind of bet against the 11. The 7 should be coming late. I really, it's the running style that's really preventing me from putting that horse on top, because I do think they fit very, very well here,
Okay.
especially
All
on the
right.
drop from 25 to 10.
It's a tough one, folks. Get as many
Yeah.
as you can in there for sure. That was 9, 11, and 7 for Barry. I was 4, 9, and 11 in race 9. We move on to race 10. Closer on the card here. Barry calls these get out races, but I make money, so I don't have to call them that.
Bailout.
Um,
That's messed up,
it
man.
is,
What are you trying to say?
you know what I'm saying. Down the
Yeah, I
hill,
do.
6.5 furlongs on the turf. I'll see you on Tuesday.
I'll see you next week. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You see, you already knew.
Where did Barry go? He said I'll meet him in the alley. It's $64,000 on the line. State bred fillies and mares 3 and up have never won essentially a $21,000 starter allowance here, running for $61,000 in this one. Barry, I'm going to let you go first because I'm going to admit to the crowd I have no idea what to do in this race. I have no idea what to do in this closer. This isn't all to me.
I'm really perplexed too, but I ended up on the one Princesa del Tigre.
Look at you. I kind of agree with you, actually.
It's the cutback again. The cutback is very, very strong there. And this horse seems to want to close on a sprint. If you look back at 2024, those races at Golden Gate, Pleasanton, this horse was closing fast a lot. And I think this might be right up her alley. On the cutback, Kazushi Kimura to the hoop. Let's go.
There's a horse named Tina Turner in this race.
Spectacular.
And you have that horse third in your handicapping. And I've been trying to come up with a good Tina Turner joke.
Rolling.
So simple. So good.
Too easy.
I got to say, I love this from Steve Knapp. I love this.
Yeah.
Take a shot, big purse. You qualify for this. Your horse comes in with a ton of moxie out of that race. Yes. And upside, frankly, right? Wins on debut, rallies to do it. I'm with you. I'm actually 1 and 8 in this race. I'm interested to see if either of them gets it done. I'm also looking at Barry. Where am I at? A Garden Party here. Tough race last out in State Bred Company. Should get back to the form we saw at Del Mar, but this is one that they tried on the dirt at the end of May, and it just didn't work. So they're getting back to the turf here. And the 2 races off the layoff there at Del Mar were both good. The last race was fine. The horse was just, it took forever to get going. And so if Herrera can get this horse out of the gate at all, which is a massive question, I think it's got a chance. But we've also seen Barry down the hill. Sometimes these horses that can rally are the ones that end up winning, right? Especially if they can kick a little bit of kick on the dirt for whatever reason, like whatever they can do there at that turning point at the very top of the stretch, it can really matter. But I'll go 1 and 8 in here. Interested in that one. The one right next to it as well, Nancy Griffith, is really interesting for Edwin Maldonado, Steve Miotti. This one has been on the turf 9 times, finished second 4 of them. And they tried the horse down the hill in a high level allowance for non-2-lifers. And I don't know if that's one that can keep up. One that you and I have not mentioned is Maya Kama, the 5 horse here. 3-2 for Jeff Mullins. Why do we not like that horse? Is it the price only?
Don't know what we're gonna get. I mean, the horse is very, very inconsistent. We don't really know what this horse does well. I mean, is he a dirt horse? Is he a turf horse? He's won on both. He hasn't looked bad, but he seems like just kind of a middle of the road type. I mean, he could easily win this race. He has races to go to, but I tend to think that last race was sort of a perfect trip, and not really representative of his talent. I don't think he's that good, honestly. As far as Garden Party goes, I think that horse probably will need to just be kept clear.
Okay.
Kind of like a locomotive. The horse is just
put her in the middle. Put her in the middle of the track and just let her go.
Just stay clear and not get stopped. That'll be the best trip for that horse. And I expect that one to be really running late. So I don't know. This is a really, really tough race. I thought Tina Turner was a good get. I just wish the price was a little bit higher, at least the morning line. I know Steve Knapp is first time turf is 0 for 20, but you got to try it in this race because nobody looks really good here. There's no standouts. It could go a bunch of different ways, and I can definitely see a horse like Tina Turner running big.
Okay. All right. Well, Barry, you're going to be up here on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
And I kind of wanted to pause the show and talk about that and what we're going to get to do together next week, just so everybody knows what Barry and I are working on together coming up here. I'll take these things off the screen so that you can see us. Louie Rabaut, Barry Spears again. We're presented by Amwager and Amwager.com. We appreciate them a lot. And one of the things, Barry, I met with them, kind of our annual get together ahead of 2026 and those kinds of things this week. And I sat down with a woman named Marissa who works there. And I said to her, Barry, and I wanted to say this publicly on the show. The first thing I said to her, and I'm not kidding, was thank you for your partnership on the show. The best thing that's happened is I've gotten to know Barry Spears this year. And thank you for allowing me to do that, because otherwise I don't know that we would have had much motivation to hang out more than, like once a month on a show or something, Barry. Or no, I'm serious.
Well, no, yeah, I mean, that's how it was before.
Like on my podcast, or like, I would jump on with you guys on, the SGPN and all that and whatever. But you and I we were cordial for sure. But once we started doing this, it was like, get here for the Wood Memorial. Like it happened right away.
Yeah, it did.
And so I've just been really grateful for that. I pitched to Barry the idea of going to the Breeders' Cup, and of course he was in. But I also pitched the idea of coming up here on Tuesday to do a seminar with me in person, rather than having to do it over the air. And I'm also hopeful, by the way, the government works on Tuesday for you so you can fly up here. But anyways, those poor people. Barry said yes. And then he said something else after that. It's my 50th birthday. And if you want to know how much fun Barry and I are having, Barry is choosing to fly on his birthday to a rainy Louisville, Kentucky, to do a seminar at a restaurant he's never been to with a bunch of people he's never met, and to hang out with me and sleep in my house the night before we get up early to go catch a flight to San Diego. And again, Marissa, Amwager, if you folks are listening or watching, we appreciate you very much. We love getting to do this. Barry and I have not just fun getting ready for the show and doing it all day Saturday.
Oh, man.
Your bum picks, your great picks. Oh, man, you're on fire. You should never do the show again. Whatever it might be on Saturdays is just spectacular. And so, Barry, ahead of next week, I just wanted to share that moment I had with Marissa. That's and cool. How much this show has turned out to mean to me. It's caught me off guard how much I've enjoyed it. But I hope you're having fun as well.
Absolutely.
If you are able to get up here, visit martinilouisville.com. Okay, martinilouisville.com. $30 a head. You get dinner. We'll have some bourbon tastings and different things as well. We'll be doing our seminar. And if you can't make it, it is 7:00 Eastern time on Tuesday. Barry and I will be going through as many of those races as we can cover in about an hour. All of it will not be available here. It will be available at Blood Horse's social media stuff. So you have to find them at Blood Horse all over the place. It'll be on IG. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on Twitter. You'll be able to find it there. So look for us on Tuesday. The weekend. Barry and I are flying Wednesday. You won't hear from us. Maybe we'll do like a we landed Wednesday thing, like maybe what we're seeing at Del Mar, something like that. 5 minutes, we'll throw it up. Thursday morning at 10:00 Eastern, 7:00 Pacific, Barry will be co-hosting Rabaut & Co. with me on ESPN Radio Louisville. Okay, so at ESPN 680 for all of that. You can come find us. We're efforting guests, but right now we'll have Matt Bernier from NBC on Thursday. We'll talk to him a little bit ahead of, he'll be on in the 11 o'clock or the 8 o'clock hour, depending on your personal time zone. But we'll have him on as part of the show. And then we'll talk to other luminaries like Matt Dinnerman, Steve Kornacki. Hopefully Kenny Rice will be able to pop by, that sort of stuff. So you'll get a lot of the faces that you know and that you affiliate with the Breeders' Cup. But Barry and I will be on radio for 2 hours, Thursday and Friday. Barry's going to have to pick football games next week. That'll be fun. Hey, and then, you're damn right you are. And then on Saturday.
Probably better than I think.
If you're better at that than horses, it'll be a sad day. But a funny day, which I'm hoping that's what will happen. It'll be hilarious. Anyways, that Saturday, right here, wherever you're watching this show, we'll be on for an hour. Next week, Saturday, I will announce a time once I have cleared everything up with Blood Horse and I know what we're doing for Saturday. Barry and I will be on. That'll be Carlos Morales. That'll be JD Fox. That'll be Danny Brewer. That'll be Matt Dinnerman. That's the fun bleep around show on Saturday ahead of all the things. You're smiling about Danny.
Danny.
You know. And so we'll be doing all of that next week. So if you're looking for the vest and the buttoned-up shirt that I'm wearing right now, Blood Horse. We got 3 shows for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you're looking for this show, we'll be back at it on Saturday and on the radio for 2 hours. So 5 hours of coverage between Barry and me just on those outlets. Well, Barry, I am beyond pumped for next week. It's so fun to work with someone who cares about this bleep as much as I do. So I appreciate you very, very much. By the way, If you ever have an idea, you want to work with us, whatever it is, horseRacingHappyHour@gmail.com. You are welcome to get a hold of us that way, at Horse Happy Hour on Twitter. Climb in the DMs at Radio Louie, at Urban Handicapper, whatever you want to do. We'd love to work with you, and we'd love to work with your track potentially as well. For Barry Spears, my name's Louie Rabaut. Check me out on Sunday. I'm talking to James Welsh on Sunday. He's a Scottish handicapper. We will go through all of the British Isles shippers on the turf for the Breeders' Cup, one of our most popular episodes of the year. Every single year, that'll drop in the afternoon, evening on Sunday. And then, of course, the seminar on Tuesday with Barry at martinilouisville.com. But on all the Blood Horse socials, we will see you then. For Barry, I'm Louie. Have a great weekend, everyone.